Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon on this Thursday afternoon. What a blessing it is to be with you on today. And we're so glad that you joined us on this particular platform, acknowledged as Project 365. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization, which is known as Trophy of Life Incorporated, where we have the opportunity, the privilege, and most of all, the God assignment to render hope, encouragement, and inspiration to you, our audience across the world. Let me bring in my co-host.
Hello, I am Takara Swan, and I am so happy to be here with you on this beautiful day. Before we have our guests take the floor, I want to remind all of you to go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, so that you can help us bring hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world.
To the entire world. Don't forget, team, you become a part of our team to
Yes,
bring a message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration to who, Takira?
the entire world.
The entire world. And we love doing that. We love doing that. In spite of everything that we go through in our life, we still love doing that and bringing it to you on this platform. Well, today we have a wonderful guest to present today in the person of Lady Mrs. Katrina Wilson. We're so happy to have her to join us. And thank you for accepting our invitation to come. I tell you what, usually we have our guests to, of course, introduce themselves, but to share what they do, how they do it, the effects of what they do. It is amazing the things that Katrina Wilson does, and she loves doing it. Well, actually, Katrina is, matter of fact, Katrina, you go by Kat sometimes.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I wasn't even aware I was on camera. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting.
That's okay. That is okay. It's all good. It's live and it's all good. You know, it's part of it. It's just a part of it. Anyway, you
Yes,
still were cute. You was cute, whatever you were doing. You were cute with it.
thank you.
Listen, she is a MSW. I forgot what she said that was, but she's going to explain to you what that is. She just told me.
Yes.
So, hey, when you get whatever age, you might forget too. But also a CBT, a cognitive behavior therapist, but she's a life coach as well. So, we will give you her contact information so that you can check her out, look her up, but she's going to share with us what she does. But one of the things I so enjoy about Katrina is the fact that she loves helping people to discover the greatness in them. She,
Yes.
it's amazing. Her energy, her smile, all of that draws people to her, and she just takes it with the help of the Holy Spirit and makes things happen and discovers what is in you and some of the things that you didn't even know about, but is there. And she helps you to see what goes on in your own life that you didn't know was possible. But it's real. It's you. She helps you get there, and we're going to hear
Absolutely.
more about it today. Thank you again, Katrina, and the platform belongs to you.
Wow, wow. This is an absolute pleasure. First and foremost, thank you so very much, Mama Portia, Miss Portia, for having me on today. Lovely Takira, thank you so very much for having me on your platform, Project 365. I am totally honored because I'm always usually on the other side, but I will happily and gladly share on the interviewee side. I'll share on the interviewee side. I love it. I love everything that Project 365 is about. You said encouragement, inspiration, yes, for life, like for the life of who you are. And that is the essence of who I am. That's the essence of who I am. I have my master's degree in social work, so that's the MSW. So I went to school for that. I have my degree for that, and I also have certification as a cognitive behavioral therapist, life coach. And what I do there is I help people, and it's just very instrumental in helping people to get out of the unstuck posture that they might find themselves in. Many times we find ourselves, at like a lull, or we like make some completions, and then there are some times that we don't. We're just at a standstill, and that happens to adults mostly, for the most part. It happens in youth as well, but with adults, sometimes it's hard to connect the dots from one aspect of your life to another, due to, it could be trauma, just challenges. It doesn't have to be like life threatening trauma. Trauma is trauma, whether it's I don't feel comfortable saying big or small. Your personal situation is your personal situation, and where there are challenges and where there is trauma, there is the perspective of not being able to go, not being able to move. And then sometimes there are the challenges of not knowing where to go or who to reach out to. So that's where I come in, and I help to just put in place uh, resources. I help put people in place and connect you to who might serve you best. In the field of social work, I have worked with the Department of Social Services here in Baltimore, Maryland, for about 2.5 years. You guys, let me tell you, I wish, and I used to have regret of leaving, but things got to a way that I just couldn't function there. But let me tell you, it's so gratifying being a person who gives and pours in. I absolutely love working with children. I love my job. The work, and I don't like saying job, but I love my work in working with families, because to me, when you help families, you help children. When you pour into mothers and fathers, you help the children as well. It is a collective type of, it's a unit. It's a unit. And it's a ministry in itself, in giving what has been poured into you, literally, we're giving what has been poured into you and just giving it out to everyone else. I worked there with mostly youth clients then, and some adults. And I'm telling you, it's just something about, and that is my personal that is my personal niche, and my calling is to work with youth in the school system, in their homes, at community centers, wherever, however that should look. So I thoroughly enjoy that, and I understand. I'm still gaining footing and clarity on assignment, because I think sometimes where I get stuck with, and God has shown me that it's not what you think it is. It's, let me show you what it is, and those doors will open, or the doors will open, and the visions will come forth as well, with the faith steps that you take in the direction that I show you. I have more, and it's not all what you think. Now, I went to school for social work, seriously and honestly, because he told me to. I did not want to go. I felt like I know how to be social, and I work with people because I was doing this before. That's just who I am. I'm a giver and a encourager and all of those things. So I felt like I don't need to go to social work school. I know everything that I need to know, so I had to go. So I did it. I had to go because of credentials that are needed in order to get let into specific areas and places and things like that. That's what that was for. It wasn't just for, and it helped to broaden your horizon. Of course, going to school, and in the educational realm, you learn and get to open up to many more things. You think you know, but you really only know on a certain surface and a level. But that was a harrowing experience, because how old was I? Man, I wasn't like right out of high school. This is like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. And I completed my master's degree, and it was all online. I was active duty for the first part of it. And then after that, I had been separated, but all of my schooling has been online. I had my bachelor's degree in behavioral science as well, which was all online while I was deployed and then home at peace and all of these things. But man, it is such an honor to serve the public in my eyes. In my eyes, it's like the most honorable thing to do, in giving service of yourself, giving service of the many gifts and talent that God has placed in you. And that's what we're here to do. So it's an honor and a privilege. I would do it for free right now, do it, and with not expectation, but with much integrity and duty and self. And I believe that much of that, right, was added to me being a veteran. I was in the United States Air Force for a little over 12 years, and I learned so much from that experience. We were I was getting ready to say dislocated, but relocated a few times. So I was far away from home during most of my active duty military service. And toward the end, my last duty station was at Langley Air Force Base, where we were so happy to be. That was as close to home as we had gotten in the years that we were that we served in the military. So it was a great treat to be in driving distance at least, but never forsaking the opportunity that was afforded of me to be able to travel. We lived in Germany for 3 years, Hawaii for 4 years, and we've seen a lot. We've been to a lot of places, and we've seen a lot of things, and have connections are so important. That is one of the reasons that I feel that, connections and connecting to people, making connections and holding on to some, and we'll probably talk about that, and God guiding you and helping you to let go of some others. It's all a learning experience. I'm so thankful for my husband of 26 years, 26 happy, fulfilling years, and my children. God be praised for all that he has done for us. We've seen some challenging and battle-ridden times, but God be praised, because I'm still here, right? I'm still here. We're still here. And he's just blessed us tremendously in every single area, and you just wonder about the grace. I was like, we're going to talk about grace. So, but you just wonder about, well, why am I here? What am I doing? And I remember being so conflicted in my mind. And that's a part of the reason why connecting with children, especially in the middle school age, is because I understand not knowing and feeling so lost and thrown about, like, what am I here for? And, all of these things keep happening, just having not so much an identity crisis, but having a crisis within your mind, and not having the fortitude and inspiration within yourself to move yourself. So I think that's within me to help move you and be the inspiration, because sometimes it can get shut down, not even on purpose, not even by anyone setting out to do these things, but our minds, man, it plays a pinnacle part in how we move, if we move, whether we have the will to move and go forward. So those are some of the things that I instill in children to help to pour into families, mothers and fathers, their children, however that dynamic is. We know that our families it doesn't matter what nationality or ethnicity, our families are formed and shaped in so many different ways. Just being receiving of them and meeting them where they are, which is a Christ-like, identifiable characteristic. And that's what it's all about. Just meeting people where they are, helping them to move forward. That's exactly what I do, and all of the work that I do. And it's just an honor. I put my best foot forward in everything, in everything. And sometimes I overload that plate. So, self-care has to kick in. Self-care has to kick in. And when you have a loving spouse and your loving family, they kick in as well to help remind you, hey, you know what, that's you can't, be careful, take care of you. You got to take care of you in order to help to take care of everybody else. So we're afforded this awesome opportunity, and I cherish and have much respect for you and the work that you do. With Trophy of Life and everything, every aspect of inspiration and empowerment, I'm there. I would love to, be a part of it or shout it out. It doesn't matter to me, because I'm not there to, for, I don't know, gainful things. I really am not. And I would like that to just emulate from me, for everybody to know that, I would love to just be a blessing. That's it. Just be a blessing. Just be a blessing in all that I do.
That is wonderful. And I know you have been a blessing because of the broadcast that you produce yourself. Share a little bit about the broadcast that you do.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I have the Good Life Gospel Show, and the one that I do personally is Chat with Kat and Friends. And I started that. It will be a year actually in February. So we're pushing and going to the year. And I'm telling you, I'm just following God in this whole thing, because when it will stop, I don't know. If it will stop, I don't know. I'm just going with the grain of whatever God shows me, and the light that he shows me and leads me into. But I started that when so much devastation was happening with brown and Black people, people of color. And I wanted a platform, and there are many others. I always want to say that, because I know I'm not the only one, and many do it well. But I started the platform just to highlight and showcase that, yes, in fact, our lives do matter. And in fact, we're doing amazing things. We're doing amazing things in our communities, which in turn we're doing in our families' lives, for ourselves. And there is direction. There is direction. There is wholeness. There are these things that maybe socially is depicted that aren't there, that aren't present in our households, in our families, and of ourselves. We are inspiring. We are empowering. We do, we can attain and obtain wealth and knowledge and confidence and all of these things that I think are just missing from, not even just from the news networks and things of that nature, but even from television. A lot of portrayals of people of color, of Black people, is not, it's not the greatest. So that is just one aspect of and view of how I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a difference and reach whoever, however, because I know I was feeling very, very sad, very down, and very poor in spirit.
Yeah.
I'll say that I was feeling very poor in spirit concerning my own self. So if I'm feeling that way, and that's another thing that God has grown me to understand, that if you're feeling it, it's other people. And whether it's a whole other people or one other person, this is what you need to convey to that one. This is what you need to let that one know, that they should live and not die, that there is more, that you can and you will, you shall. And as a community and as, people coming together, we will press forward. We will, all of the things that people say that sound cliche-ish or are cliches, they are absolutely, they have some truth in them. I don't think that there is any one thing. Nothing should be left as one, like people that do such and such are this. People that, nothing is like that. Everything is different for everybody, because we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different inspirations, aspirations inside of us. So it's not one way. It's not one
Right,
way, and it shouldn't
right.
be taken as such.
And all of us matter, no matter what color you are.
Yeah,
All of us
definitely.
matter. All of us matter. And even all of our ages matter. Children matter,
For
teens,
sure.
preteens, teens, adults, senior citizens. All of us matter, no matter what color, no matter what age.
Absolutely.
We
Yes.
definitely matter. One of the things that I mentioned, you mentioned rather, of course, is when I ask about your broadcast, and I would love the audience to know that it is always good to lift someone up, someone else up, encourage someone else. God has in his hands, he's in control, and he knows some of the people that I may reach on my broadcast may not be the same people that Katrina may reach, and vice versa. Either way, we still have an assignment that we have to do what God has assigned us to do. I don't care if it's in that hot summertime, going and give out popsicles on the corner. If it's in the wintertime, going and give out soup, hot soup in the wintertime. There are people that feel like they're too high in status, too high and mighty to do minute things. But if God has given you assignment, he will raise you up, equip you to do whatever he's asked you to do. So again, even at my introduction, when I said that we are a team, all of us are a team because we're assigned to do a work that one man, one God, one spirit has given us. So just as she has her broadcast, I support her. As I have my broadcast, she supports me. So if we can do that together as a team, God has the people for you, God has the people for me, and let's bring it together. There's enough negativity in the world, enough pulling apart and pulling away. Let's be the witnesses that will cause us to come together. And I'm not just saying physically because of the social distancing and COVID, but I mean even in spirit. Don't
Yeah.
have to call me every day though, but we can
Right.
still we can still be together. And so it is amazing. When we hear from God, what is that saying again? Keep your ear to the mouth of God. He'll tell you some
Yeah.
things that he hasn't told other people. So, let's
Mhm.
live life to its fullest. I love it when you talk about bringing out in people what they didn't even know was there. Even
Right.
the strength that they have. And you don't
Mhm.
know what strength you have until you do go through a some type of trauma, experience, heartache, tears, or whatever. And you come through on the
Mhm.
other side of it. Yeah. Yeah. Now you can talk to me when you have a
Yeah.
little experience under your belt. So
Exactly.
yes, I love it. I love the strength that God gives us. That God gives us.
Amen.
Before we close, we want to make sure we get your contact information so that anyone in our audience who may want to contact you may do so. All right.
Okay.
But
Thank
right now,
you.
I want to hear from,
Mhm.
you're very welcome. I want to hear from Miss Takira, and she's going to close us out.
Well, one, thank you so much for coming on our broadcast today. I always feel that people like yourself with your demeanor and in your profession are so needed uh, in this, especially in this time that we're in, because it's so much going on with everybody, and I didn't know you had a broadcast. I really like that you have an outlet that people can tap into to uplift others. So please make sure you give us that information so people can check you out as well.
Yeah.
You briefly talked about you briefly mentioned self-care. So I just want to ask you, as somebody who pours into other people like so much, and just tell us one thing that you do that you like to do for self-care to recharge yourself, so that you're able to keep giving out to others and doing what you're been called to do.
Honestly, daily, I'm singing around my house. I'm dancing through my kitchen, my living room, and I'm just listening to songs of inspiration that uplift, that tell me who I am in Christ. And that's not, I love jazz, I love R&B, I love, all genres of music, but the most inspirational songs are the ones that help to give me the strength that I need, that help me to give me the strength that I need. That may be what is what is his name? I'm blessed by, and his last name is Wilson. I cannot believe I'm not thinking of it right now.
I'm like,
I play it every day. Jill Scott, every day. Like, these are songs that speak to my heart and my soul. And I suggest that if you're not, placing yourself, because we have a due diligence. I say that all the time, but we have a due diligence within our own selves and a responsibility to look out for who we are, our spiritual essence, the spiritual, the soul, the health part. Every part of us, it's our responsibility to do the things that we need to do to make sure each is getting what it needs to get. But hands down, singing and dancing. Singing and dancing. That's what I do.
That's awesome. I do that a lot as well. So I can high five you on that one. And I'm glad you gave that example, because a lot of times, I think sometimes, since we're like in the trend of self-care now, people think, oh, you got to take this big, long thing drawn out your day. Like, I need to have a spa day. No, if you can do that, that's awesome. But self-care doesn't have to be a whole event. Self-care can be anything uplifting to you. Singing, going outside, taking a walk, So I think that's a great example that you gave, because I think a lot of us need to almost reevaluate how we think of self-care and really see like what we need to take care of in here, and you are a perfect example of that. And anyone who's watching, any viewer that's watching, if you are a caretaker, if you are someone who pours out into other people and you uplift them daily like our guest does, make sure you take time for yourself, even if it's 5 minutes. Dance like no one's watching, sing a song. It doesn't matter if you can sing to the top of your lungs, do something that makes you happy, just to keep yourself in that positive mode. Because when you do things like our guest does, it can be draining if you don't pour back into yourself. So that's one thing I just wanted to mention. And I know I can tell, you can tell when people aren't taking care of themselves. And I can tell that you are definitely taking care of yourself. So I'm happy for that. I really am. So everyone,
if I can add to that,
yes,
Kira,
please.
If I can add to that really quickly, I'm sorry, if I can add to that, and sing out loud, none of this. No. Sing out loud. You need to, because you're letting go. You're actually letting go. You're letting go. So let go. Sing, dance, whatever it takes for you. Twirl, whatever you do, but do something, and prayerfully it can be like a daily thing, because especially if you're giving daily, you have to be poured into daily. So just wanted to add that. Sing out loud. That's it. Sing out loud.
Yes. Sometimes you gotta just let it go. Let it go.
Just let it go. Let it go.
Yes.
I love it. So guys, please share this video. Like, share, subscribe, everyone. But please share this video to anyone that you think may need to hear it, doesn't need to hear it. Just share, because we always say all the time, we truly believe that our platform really does bring hope, encouragement, and inspiration to all kinds of people, no matter who you are, where you are. And if they don't watch it today, they can watch it whenever they're supposed to watch it, and it's going to bless them just the same. So thank you so much for coming on our broadcast. I'm so happy that you were here. Miss Portia, we have a guest tomorrow, and we're going to come back at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be here, same time, same place. Do you have any other closing comments to say? No? All right. Well, thank you guys once again for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day.
Thank you
Okay,
so
Katrina,
much.
you're
It was
welcome.
a pleasure. Thank you so very much. Have a great day, everyone.
You too.